We're live.
Yeah, you need to drop me.
Assalamu alaikum. Kaya mbarin jibe lal and mbarin lamoy lal. Munu be mol jibe kan sang and munu bina mol jibe la nyato. Ntom ib sango lati and nyin non shoten ka fu mu the final point. Nin ka fu nyomal le kanyin shoke, Yahya Dabo, ning the Afridamos, tolle kanyin shoke bari bi Afridamos ma mol join no bi and then Yahya le betar la jam bi. So the munkol kachala bi abekila ku jamal letim nyanta mun kachala Gambia la koto kol mun yalon ko kita nying lokun tambilala so mbana jaba koto wesala re mbe yada budundla nan sansang isaje nga kachanyin kumfa ya daw
Hello, Ibrahim.
Ibrahim ko abedi
Alhamdulillah, ambe jandron ko rande.
Alhamdulillah kita faman ndi ngoti de
Fama ninkara another week.
another week another dollar right
Yeah.
adula jana ma sumyabe nyadi ke
Kunu snow do ninkara Maryland jama fama
oh yeah
but I'm all back anyway. Just
and don't snow once then tell was I know I think you've been in Texas anyway.
I once live in Texas. I know 2020 will mafamo,
Yeah.
Was it 2020 or 2021? Cabrio snowstorm karaje since then.
Texas 2021 that was okay. Well get out
that was serious.
I'm telling you. Well yeah man, so I'm glad to have you here today. So first of all, Kujamal Bekegang. So love to do na political kono follow.
Okay.
Political kacha demanding after ngata ngadun kudo to dal. So Kujamal kita ning lokun tambilal nga my party jele he's the leader of the Gambia Moral Congress.
Mm-hmm.
So my mungkin dida rek nga jako may be NPP join kanne.
Mm-hmm.
Not him in person, NPP join, being a bona fide NPP member, but Alapatinye Kafumia GMC is forming an alliance with the NPP. So, which is a significant move for him and also for the NPP as a party because, you never join Kanjele, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, near NPP, Jubefang, is a combination of alliances right now, man. Mbukabe mira, but let me just on top of my head. NPP in party Jamal Mulube collaborate concern. So I would say NPP, you have NRP, Ahmad Bala Party, you have Mr. Henry Gomez Love Party, GPDP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the NCP.
Tijan Hydra.
That's Ganu, right? Of Hydra. Mm-hmm. Then you have the APRC. Ghana Birka Mero ko the PRC. Then you also have the other one. I don't know if PPP is still in alliance with them though, because PPP they had their legal issues, and I think that girl won the case. The MP.
Yeah.
And then yes, this small parties coming together. Yeah. It'll mirror munati. What? It'll mirror muna kendi. My party man joined NPP Kabri Muntuma able to sign towards the tail end of 2024. Akabi joined the NPP because now in the Gambia for the next 2 years is gonna be political season, right?
Yes.
So ita mira munatina, my able to sign Akabi joined the party NPP.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Ben la moy lal be kontona men kala moy dunia fana bela kontanda pour kamuruna again ni sibit lumbala pour nale kacha membe keri na banko la ani kol membe keri banko kan ni nata may Ahmed Fatila fenko nyina political shift ni pour ka join NPP kan to form an alliance for the Nyaji, this is so timing. The timing is very important. Secondly, Nyaji, come here, from earlier on, Gambia in the next 2 years, a political season in a sense that we are fast approaching the election. Where mate and the politics is about numbers. And every political party has to strategize things, how is it more pull towards your interest. In a sense, like at the end of the day, what matters is not a party me alone ko itala crowd size or whatsoever, but the number of people that voted for you at the end of the day, that's what counts. So crowd size and whatsoever is not the problem. Claiming you being a biggest party or the biggest opposition, how many people voted for you at the end of the day, that's what matters. So we've seen over the years from my party is an household name in the Gambia. Naninga Jibe Mai was very much instrumental during Jammeh's days. I think he was based in somewhere in Europe or Senegal, but most of the he's been representing Gambia in a lot of international forums and forums over the years. Up to a time, covering coalition on Yinketa, then change of government nara. Mai was next to Adama Barrow in Dakar. I think he suffered something like a tentative, something like a spokesperson. Then from there, another appointment as a Minister of Interior, but that was short-lived. Then from there, another government coalition on then later on, he came back. I think sometime a year or some year ago, appointed as an advisor. But that also, I don't know for what reason he resigned. And he made certain comments, but like just a few days ago or almost a week, he came back again. He wanted to form. He already formed alliance with the ruling party. I see it as a win for NPP because like I said, every political party numbers is what matters. So long you can draw more political alliance and you can draw all those political parties could bring in their supporters. That's what matters. At the end of the day, if they could genuinely vote for you, that's what counts.
Yeah, that's right. I'm very excited. Ko, you brought in, the historical aspect of things, right? Coming along, wala neko history important abakele. Janimbe bi kacha laga samu kacha munkido kununga o kacha. Because ninga kunung kacha, be good context into what's happening today, and then what's for tomorrow, right? So until that jubiroto, ne my time I can have freedom radio, and different forums, Kachabarka, at that time, he was an important figure. Fenko nyinkono struggle on I remember those days, ke time on into doku that is somanda the first thing come connect on freedom radio.
Freedom
you know what I mean? Yeah, so we always, we're enthusiastic to know what's happening back home, right? So I know some of those people who whatever they said, held water because more because they were doing all the travels. They are well connected even within Africa. Ikata Sate Jamal to Jeka, Gambia represent, Fenkolto, and also bringing Gambia's case, to the international front, Isaji, Banku Jama. So Rialong Nimwalma understand what's happening today is like some of them might jubile safo nying, Fenko long opportunity so long nying atra among kunun neje. Doku munke banko, you know what I'm saying? So ntenga amra dal allow doku, from during Jammeh's era, when you had, and Mai was also one of those people we are election wato, I said diamuna outside the country, but election wato as a dundam banko kono, I think then I don't know how he enters and gets out, but he does it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but the problem was to damning. While coming my ntonga jijane, his party was part of the coalition. Ibotaje natanang, Baroyaki interior minister, that was short-lived. Yeah, Baimunna, it was never made
Never
clear.
know. Yeah.
So Ntenga Mira as a leader, Nisita, ye moe doko ke na doko ke fonyato, ikoya baile. You relieved him from his duty. Nte ninga mira ni moye kuke. For example, I underperformance like or maybe I office malfeasance like malaka for office malfeasance in yade mandika. But coming ye kuke la doko kono imanya na munkela. Kuko mumanyinya dad, yeah. So either you see file like ola tina yeta ye bondi la plus to ye by, which means you no longer have the confidence of your employer. Employer among confidence of the quote correct. So I buy. So because the number naketa ko mari manku jawoke or amantra underperform kan imanya na baila inyanta niman la fala be plaso mundavang ya move to another fenko portfolio, right? But woman ke, they let him go. And the worst part of it, nakita ko yemo by ya famule ko career nyinde ke. It's such a more fun hakilo sa tenku ya long. But nimo okay, you leave it, you leave room for speculation. More better than mira logo. Oh, I could always sunya nyinde ke. After a moment long I munke for real, right?
Yeah.
Then ya pula je for a while. Then after ya munin nanko de yuko yake advisor. Ye moment ya bay. Ima for mole muna na ima bay mol hakilo be tented ring about it. Then it all not close to you to be an advisor to you. So it's kind of fishy, in my opinion. Right? You understand? Then Bodaje, my was in the position because I think in our last episodes I spoke of advisor positions because most of them, these advisors positions, they are commensurate to ministerial roles, in terms of pay and in terms of personal protection and all
services,
and benefits as well. But then then Mike came out, Cabria resigned. For available for resign for another resigned, got ahead of them. I don't know. But Anko, he did not see himself as, Malong I would for Nyadi Lefang. Coming not a good fit for the role. He's a good fit, but he's not impactful.
Yeah.
Because Abuga borrow advice. So Takatra Jeleta Dukola sin and just wasting resources, So it won't put a you put a new party to it is it a better side, Now all of a sudden political season can I see that it go okay, but not Nakafunyu Molka,
Yeah.
So my thing is if I have an opposition party, party, from the get-go, nakita ko man lafi man sakunda ala patila ntata nganna on party form, that means nte man sakunda ala party anila cool ke cool and everything amanta see so ndafta alternative lella
yeah
nte yenda party na as GMC. If I were my, then I say okay ntenga ambarantela party is the best alternative for Gambia. So yiku jamal de jamunya lonko imantra kata ku barola government wala kende ete data ita nadina. Then ni sita fanang later on iko okay sambete join lale, which means ita ko kumbol bum be funung ko nyimasa kunda kari betene mantra kata nyato, all of that is null and void, which means ita mantra to nyafukan. So ntela jer nyal be wala nyama. So malete ya ite, what do you think of that?
No, you're right. Yeah, man, for whatever caring. In a sense, like Amake Maidama, we've seen that in a lot of political parties.
But
CA. Yeah, CA for an example. Dr. Ismaila Sise also. Dr. Sise for a commencement for about Barrow and the NPP government. My in the past, I find commencement for come Yemen for like the one you just made mention of. So no kusi fal natake within a short moment Amari turn around and I to join the same political party to form an alliance. And I think there are a lot of questions like Molbe Menyin Kalamari La Kuro. Is that guy authentic? Is he realistic? So nyinka memfo aka memfo adala ani membe keri yamera wolmu kilinte bang. So it's gonna raise a lot of questions and abe mununo jamal siandila. So going back to ila diamo kono ya for cabinet when Mai was a minister. Actually, this has been a tradition even during Jame's time. Even let me take it all the way back to Jawara's time. Nkajele ko ni minister bondi bikafo masakunda bikana kafo mole ko kare nyine ko lat na ngabondi. You know, Jame also the same trend continued during Jame's time. Up to Mai Fanala Bondo. I think Mai was the first minister me alonko was the first person me alonko coalition minister Yemen Bondi, if I can remember. But rumors allegedly some were saying like it was due to was it Semlek
yeah,
something like that.
ID printing company.
Yeah, that was something alleged, but like some other people related to how the steps that Mai took around the phonies, which was not the people of the ruling party then, the people of Foni and the ruling party APRC were not pleased about that. So I think that was the time APRC, I believe APRC was also in talks with the president, with Barrow, and that's I want to believe that's what has been alleged to have happened. Like that's the time APRC guys recommended to Barrow, if you want us to join you, these are the two things. Do away with Lawyer Dabo and the co. Do away with Mai, because Mai was taking a very strong stand against APRC, and more especially around the dominance in Foni. I might be wrong, but that's what has been alleged. But like to the fact that a lot of political parties in the Gambia, at the end of the day, your own party from coming for you feel like your party will be the best alternative. At the end of the day, you join you went back and form an alliance with the ruling party. That is gonna raise a lot of questions, and I think all boils down to integrity. We will question their integrity, but it's politics. Politics is numbers. And if you feel like at the end of the day, you've said this, and you feel like now you'll be able to align with this party to forge ahead and put back all your differences, they are at liberty to do it, because the law did not forbid them from doing that. But I will shift a little bit towards what type of political parties in the sort of Gambia. I'm not that much of a with IEC the law and the power given to them when it comes to regulating the political parties. But Gambia has almost closer to 18 to 20 registered political parties, almost between 15 to 20, if I can remember. Yeah. Let me say over 10. Over 10 registered political parties. But how many of those political parties meet the criteria that are stipulated in IEC laws and regulation and guidelines? Because one of the major one will be you have to have a regional functioning bodies, district functioning bodies. How many political parties are doing that in the Gambia? It's only few. So at the end of the day, someone out there, you form a party, the next week you go and join another party. So IEC, I think we need to blame IEC for that too. They are not holding political leaders accountable. That's another loophole. So, but Mai has all the liberty. Is not restricted to join any party. I believe, based on his party's vision and whatsoever, he feel like he can align with the president. But like I said, integrity matters.
Yeah. So I get that part. Yeah. You know, like coming back to the IEC, you know, I kind of agree with that, because like party structures is something we are call Kumayata back. You understand it? So, but Ntola Gambia, Ika Party Jele, for example, even the NPP, right?
Mhm.
When the NPP first came along,
Mhm.
they did not have all of the party structures, Sudata Munna in the country, and they were, certified by the IEC, to continue operating, right? So
Mhm.
like right now, if Party Jamal Jala, this month, before December 31st, a Party Jamal Jala saying you a Congress
La
ke Party,
Congress. Mhm.
because IEC leo mandate, for Party leo Congress ke. But still, at the end of the day, Ikajele Party, for example, GPDP,
Mhm.
you know, Ntela Gambia Tarobe, besides Henry Gomez and Ningalo Mumba Noma, Ala Noma
Mhm.
Lankoni,
Yeah.
you know, Ntenema Moja Muyalanko have a GPDP as a party supporter of militant. My party la party GMC, besides my and Ala Muso, and in what time or Tida Bobo Kijera Bija and Bobo Tajata UDP side.
Mhm.
Nte mom moje, Muyalanko. I talk to a lot of people, but Nenemandiamu Akonya Kamu Fenko Party, GMC supporter.
Mhm.
CA is a party, it was okay. But
Mhm.
then the way CA aligned themselves with Atodum, with the NPP, Wofana, raised a lot of flowers. So I don't even know I don't know why Hanisang, you know what I mean? People even clinch up to CA because the way alliances are formed, right?
I think CA has some. They have a political fraction because uh, um, Dr. Sise has the flag bearer.
Yes.
Some key executive members are still claiming that Itolmanta Baro, Itolmanta
Yeah, I
NPP.
saw another
You
guy,
know,
something
some
CSA
are
came up.
claiming it is doctor who went with some couple of people, but some are still claiming that uh, that they have a different opinion about doctor joining NPP.
So I told that they will maintain the party as it stands right now. Is it what I'm hearing from
Um,
like in terms of continuity?
so I believe that will be cleared in their next Congress. Because like I believe IEC is mandating political parties to go to Congress. So
Yes.
we will see what will be the outcome at their Congress, whether actually Dr. Cisse, I mean, claim and CA join, whether it is him alone or the rest of the executive or whatever. So when they go to Congress, I think that will be cleared.
One thing too, that I like about Fanang, all these parties aligning Fanang,
Mhm.
it makes the elections easy, right? Which
Yes,
means the elections, when it comes to presidential elections, the political field is not too crowded with
crowded. Yeah.
candidates.
Mhm.
You understand? So imagine, for example, all these parties, Kabo APRC, NPP, NRP, all these parties will be on the aligning with NPP. Eventually what happens is NPP wants to grow.
Yeah.
So what they're gonna do is they're gonna engulf all these parties and swallow them up to a point where all these parties are gonna be irrelevant. You understand what I'm saying? So Ninian parties will become irrelevant after a while. NPP is just gonna be a standalone party. All these people are, new party, Dr. Cecil and all these people, it may be not NPP members later, whether they like it or not. Right now, they just disguising under the pretext of an alliance, but at the end of the day, it may be doing NPP members salty. So at the end of the day, that's what's gonna happen. It gives chance to all of the some of the other existing parties like the UDP, maybe Abla Jamila Party Todo.
Man for Nook Bang and you something.
NUP, Simon Book every election of Bantamoy.
Yeah.
Then you have SFL, as a candidate.
Mhm.
I'm not too sure if he's gonna come along next time, but it lessens the crowd in the political field, which is also
Mhm.
okay. So now let's kind of shift a little bit in terms of when we talk about the NPP, I think it's also some kind of fair to
Mhm.
also lament on the UDP as a party a little bit. So
Okay.
yeah, I see a lot of alignings with NPP, but less aligning with UDP. And I also understand the fact that politics follows power.
Mhm.
any party that's in leadership, they can party do jele mojama be normal because of the power. You know what I mean? So, but from a UDP standpoint, being the biggest political party in the country, like the alternative, party in waiting.
Biggest opposition party, yeah.
Exactly. So why is it that we don't see a lot of alliances? During the elections, Bibi Dabo Jela Alliance, we saw Marisa, Fanang Ningal Alliance, but we don't see much, in terms of parties trying to come and align with the UDP. So what do you think? Why do you think that is?
So when it comes to that, Niajibe Patil Meng aligned with NPP. The most strongest among them is NRP and APRC. So APRC also is divided into two. The APRC No Alliance and the Fabakar Tombong's APRC.
Yeah.
So, like Niajibe, based on the statistic from previous elections, NRP always pull a lot of votes. Even during Jammeh's time. APRC also, they were the ruling party. And up till now, near the parliamentary seats you'll compare, you realize that APRC is still a viable party. Okay, I don't know how they will end up still a Noto Alliance and the Fabakar Tombong. I don't know which among them is the real APRC. I still cannot figure it out, but I say Fabakar Tombong and Noto Alliance. So NRP, I believe, NPP drawing a yain somebody fankanyami. That's a strategic move on the part of NRP, because NRP has a stronghold in some areas across the country. You understand? APRC also, though despite there is fraction, but they have a stronghold in some parts of the country, like when it comes to around the Fonies and some other part of the country. So that's a big plus for NPP.
No, yeah, so, I thought wrong. Can you call phone you don't know?
No, I'm not.
You've been too political, man.
No, Fonyi is the stronghold, but like when you go to some other areas, they still have supporters.
Bundu.
Bundun Bundung came area and some part of West Coast, some part of Combo Central and South. They still have catchment areas that they have supporters in. But Fonyi is the major stronghold. You understand? Come when you go to NRP, they have Salum and some other areas. You understand? So so that's a big plus to NPP. So on the part of UDP, I think that's where they are failing strategically. Yeah, I think they need to go back to the drawing board. Strategy failing when it comes to how they can talk to some of these political leaders to bring them on their side. So, but when you look at some political parties also, what is the major reason they align themselves with the ruling party? The major cause, the major factor to me could be some economic factors. Yeah, a lot of parties could not sustain themselves. You understand? So they could not sustain themselves when it comes to meeting some of the criteria, when it comes to countrywide toll, some of the their regional branches, they cannot sustain themselves. So because politics involves money, and with that, they feel like I might not be able to. But if I join a stronghold, maybe we'll be able to pull things together. So UDP fails in that. I don't know for what reason they could not mobilize other political parties to join them, and I hope maybe before 2026, maybe if they should send their strategies, near strategy filing, they create more dialogue and cooperation. They can collaborate with other political parties. That's one of their biggest weakness when it comes to mobilizing some of these key political parties to join them, especially NRP, APRC, and they still have AUDP still have an advantage, but I don't know how they're gonna play that card. Purka either APRC no alliance, how they can talk, open a dialogue with them, or if not, because APRC not alliance, they still have a footprint around KMC, and I believe they still have footprint in the Fonies. So all they need to do is approach them, open doors, create dialogues, send people to meet them. Even not only APRC, PDOIS, and Mama Kande. Mama Kande is a formidable person. But all of these other parties that I have named, they all stand at a chance to be approached by NPP, to be approached by any other party. So all UDP nyanta menkala wrong. Ye finti, ye diam moli, ye diam political leader solely.
Yeah, I agree. I think a problem almost with UDP, and UDP has a very, soft place in my heart, But the problem I have is that the party always go out on this meet the people tour, and we seem to get confused by the amount of people that follows us in those crowds. You understand? And at the end of the day, we tend to measure, the party's greatness in terms of numbers with the crowds that we see. But even after that, like year of elections after elections, since 1996, people can say, go, fenko longa todo ye mol sunyale ma mol sunyande la hajita woto. But what I'm saying is, go, we've been using the same strategy for the longest period of time, and it never worked.
Yeah.
And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting what? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Different results when you're gonna gain the same results. And the result is the numbers. The numbers are not there for UDP to single-handedly win an elections in the Gambia.
No.
But then the party knows that instead of going out and seeking alliances, talking to people, the UDP tend to feel too big or too proud to go out and seek these alliances because they want people to come to them. But ite warata nyawnya imo wara to the extent ko ise election or win no. So why don't you form those strategic political unions munyalonko as say put no on the edge so that you can at least cross and win? But you would not do that, and the thing about it is, like people sit down and tend to massage the truth when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? The party knows what it's doing. Obviously, I mean, I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing, but whatever they're doing is not working. You know what I'm saying? And then the NPP, as it stands right now, they feel so comfortable right now saying, "Go." It all now they're thinking about 2031, in alignment to 2030, 2026. I mean, I know those are just political conversations and and tricks, and all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But still, if they have the audacity to say that, it means okay, they know, okay, these people are never going to change their strategies. With all of the intellectuals, Munube UDPK, we can't seem to have a shift in strategy so that UDP can be formidable, in winning elections and all that stuff. Because every time, if election or now lose that, what they say, okay, you're more sunyale. Bring the evidence here for your more sunyale. Yes, sunyale.
I think I'm follow politics is all about numbers. And among a crowd sized, like it has to be the number of vote casted and the number of vote counted at the end of the day. Sir. That's what matters. So neither like we've been seeing it since 1996, the same thing. Like whenever Sendabo and the party, whenever they go out, they always pull good numbers. That's fact. No one can deny that. But that's not what usually reflects on election day, on election night. So I think that's where the party needs to go back to the drawing board to strategize things. Hey, where are we failing? What is our strength? What is our weakness? They may saw some of these measure of performance against their efficiency. So they'll be able to track things down to see, hey, this is where we need to adjust ourselves in. These are the areas we need adjustment. These are the areas that we need to uphold. And one of the key things that they need to, if based on my observation, is they need to go out and talk to other people. Let them go out, and even areas of other political parties' stronghold, go talk to them, engage them. Go to the people of Foni, talk to them. Go to the people of URR, CRR, if that's the stronghold of any, engage them. Talk to the APRC No Alliance. Talk to them. Until you discuss, you involve them in discussion, you might not know what will be the outcome. If you just want to guess, no. That's not going to make you win.
Bro, right now, as it stands, rural Gambia is what wins elections. You know?
Yes.
Because when you look at it, Birkama is a constituency, Munribije. In Waratale, yes, I understand. Combo North, Waratale, and understand. But even if UDP wins Birkama, they win Combo North and all that stuff, right? If the margin Nyingmong Warabak, and then the other political party is able to pull greater numbers from the rural areas, they're always gonna win. So which means UDP, either you are okay in Brikama, you okay in Combo North, you okay in the KM areas. Then it your areas of struggle be muntu mafane
the provinces.
Santolto. Because UDP stronghold on Kiangwal Mafamo Jarawal, and they're slowly losing those. You understand? Then why? Because a lot of people, is what they see. NPP something they've never experienced, in over 60 years. Ye geonatie, ye la silo dada. So now they don't feel like, they have all these potholes, nibe travel ka ibita dulalto. And that's most of rural Gambia. Is the same thing.
Yeah.
Some of those transformations, they tend to go, to the ruling party. So it as an active opposition, in a role moment is to go and speak to these people. Okay, it doesn't area so you understand? So munya area so it all mang productive daming we will be a better alternative for them. Yeah, convince but then left at but I don't know how comfortable you are in doing it. It goes back to selling the same strategy every time around, expecting something meaningful to get out of it. But do you think this 2026, and then we can shift to another topic, do you think this 2026 coming elections, the UDP present, Lawyer Hussein Dabo as a candidate?
I believe that's something that the UDP will finalize at their Congress. But based on my observation, my own opinion, if anybody should ask for example, you ask my opinion, I believe it is high time let Uncle Dabo pass the touchdown.
Yeah,
that's the reality. That's the fact.
Yes, I completely concur with you.
That's the fact. And
because
Uncle Dabo tried it. Uncle Dabo tried almost how many times? 4, 5 times, or 3, 4 times. I believe it is high time let him pass the touchdown. Just exactly what has happened in the US. But like, it's not a defeat. It's just like, hey, I've tried. I've given my best. I feel like let's someone in the new generation. Gambians don't want to embrace change, but there must be changes. I think not even in our political party, but even the way we govern, because there are a lot of things that even should change in the way things, the government run things, but we don't want to change. We don't want to accept changes. I think that's why we have some of these ongoing issues here and there. Like if someone came with a new idea, hey, why not nganyinge Gambia no kamune for jama ndolka kenun ten. They don't want to leave that one what they've been doing since 1960, 65 independence.
Yes,
Like
sir.
okay, currently everything has been digitalized. How comes ita Gambia nitara department auto for an issue? No, menka wako umari mantraja. But if everything is been digitalized, in his absence, anyone can do that job.
Yep.
You understand?
Absolutely.
So the same thing applies to our political party. I feel like it is high time for UDP to look among their young stars. They have a lot of capable people that I believe can lead this country. Let Uncle Dabo and the team be in the back as advisors to steer the party. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I cannot agree more with you, man, because day 96,
Yeah.
mbedo ne borin ta UDP la fenko normal, convoy normal, birkam. 2001, borin te normal. You understand? So the subsequent elections, munuketa, went to America, but I know 2006, I telephone and loader. 2011, I telephone and loader. 2016, I'm on load because he was away. Then 2021, you loader, bro. 5 times, yeah, he loader, and the Gambian people says no. We want someone else. So if you are inibe nyin noma kan baro noma kan right now, iba fula ko ndafta constitution kutola, but we want one with term limits and all that stuff. But UDP is not a FENCO, it's not a government in power, but a party in waiting. But you should try to practice those little things that you preach about. If internally as a party, instill that fabric within your party. Isajiko, by the time you guys get out of the party mode and the Altata into power, it is already ingrained, within you guys. Is that is something Albelola Munkola?
Yeah, I feel like I believe like the Congress is coming, but based on my observation, Ndefe ni Usain Dabo Mantalola, right? He should not wait. He should not wait for the Congress. You understand?
No, but at the Congress though, yeah. Sorry,
no. I'm coming. Like
go
Congress make a sometime either this year or next year. I feel like if he wanna make that decision, he could make that decision right today. Say, hey, nte menje wala miyindiko ntete loan la election or sign thing, so that before going to the election, people will prepare themselves and people will prepare their mind, and from now the party will start to make things out. Okay, still now, even when they go to the Congress, Lawyer Dabo could be the flag bearer select at the election at the Congress, or they select the party leader and whatsoever. But that's totally different from the flag bearer. He could still be the party leader whatsoever, but at the end of the day, flag bearer, to my beliefs, needs to be identified almost a year or almost 2 years before the election. So that's the point. It is high time so that UDP supporters and anybody many are UDP sympathizers, they'll be able to make their mind from now on. So from there to anyone in UDP that has ambition to contest to become flag bearer, they will prepare themselves. But as at now, everybody is pulling themselves back, hesitant to even voice it out because they have the fear of retribution. Fear of retribution, like Nimomo Lotaya sign. The UDP most members Mojamabi of Zabla has itam jamfalal. No, that generation has passed. Uncle Dabo contested for more than 4 or 5 times. I think it is high time for him to pass the touchdown. And if he's not going to contest, he needs to make that decision before the end of the year or early as possible before 2026, so that party members will make their own choice And men left a contest like they will prepare themselves.
Yeah, I think that's a significant point because Mojama Bijele within the UDP that are formidable, candidates. Muni Alanko is a lono, notably, it's a lot of people in there, man. And I know a lot of people point to Talib and Youngs because of the fact that it all levy major positions to in terms of Fenko from a local government perspective. But there are also people within the
People
party
behind
that
the scene, yeah.
yeah, Munialonko, they are equally eligible, to become leaders of the party as flag bearers and also subsequently to become president. But those are things, Munialonko. I think the party, needs to have those, conversations, as bitter, and hot as those conversations can be, but they need to have it because a lot of people want to have it, but yalan Africa, the respect factor, Morbuka Hani Kavo Kebai Wulis Nasi Mobuko, for which I understand, but there are ways that they need to go about it. Dabo has done a great job for the party, but he also needs to understand a party is a party, it's not his party. He shares it with other people. And at a certain point in time, if things are not going your way, allow someone else,
Someone,
to take over, to come up with
fresh man,
fresh mind, to come and lead the
fresh man,
party.
yeah.
You can always be behind the scenes and to guide those people, near guide, make sure that you play that fatherly role to them, Okay, because think about it, even at this point in time, right now, if the UDP, moment in Lota UDP without Uzeno Dabola Femko endorsement, you're not gonna make it. No one there. So he needs to kind of right now allow the party to go through that friction. Come here, move for. Let him take a back seat, open the playing ground, allow the people to scramble for the position. Then by the time within 6 months to a year, was scrambling in baby Banale, then one person will emerge
And
as the
everybody rally
favorite
behind him.
and
Him or
everyone
her.
will rally behind the party and we move on. But
Yeah.
if you want to do it months before the elections,
Abe frictional sambalana, fractional about sambalana. And
exactly.
I believe that's one of the points that every individual needs to make clear to party executive. The more they continue to hold on to this flag bearer business, there is tendency that there will be a big fraction in UDP. You understand? So the earlier debate, Uncle Davo is not going to stand. Let him make it clear. Let him make it clear before the public. Hey, but in Congress, I could select me as the party leader, that's secretary general whatsoever. But that's different from the flag. From there, people will know. Hey, so it's clear to everyone that Dabo is not going to contest. So who are the viable candidates? Let them come. So from there, people will make their minds, and whosoever party may identify earlier before election, if they will, everybody will rally behind. Just like last election of Menkeda America, Republicans made everyone to sign something. Hey, ninte kera fenko nyinti. At the end of the day, ninte manganye, we will all rally behind the nominated person.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, most of them did that. So the same process will continue from A, B, and C. At the end of the day, you deselect A. Hey, mbebe nkango dila lako nintol man select. At the end of the day, we'll all rally behind you. Party more select mbe will support. Such a fraction of kanak. But Nimo okay from now on, almost it's 1 year or almost 2 years.
Yeah.
The earlier the better yake.
It's exactly. It's less than 2 years.
They'll be able to sell that individual to the people. If I like saying, Uncle Dawo tell a Jame na kafako, Ntela kan ngadi nyinela ngana power di nyina tolbebe bamburu nyina koma. But ni na sata wato nyimanjam. You will not be able to sell that individual. That's exactly what has happened to the Democratic Party.
Yep.
If Biden has stepped back, if Biden has since capital nomination wato, they will bring in someone maybe preferably that a lot of people will be more it will be more appealing to people than Camilla, because I'm Democrats, but a lot of people call Trump and Camilla people of something like evil of, I don't know, something. But like I will hold my nose to vote for Camilla.
Yeah.
So meaning, if there is a choice, if there was a choice, if there is an alternative, meaning we could have, but Biden sat on it, and it came at an 11 hour. So 90 days. You cannot. Was it less than 90 days?
Yeah, less than 90 days.
Less than 90 days? No, man.
To the detriment of the.
I hope that's not what's going to happen to UDP, and if they listen to the advice from people whom see things from far. You understand?
Yeah.
Like I had the opportunity to come into Gambia. Like I talked to a lot of people. This is exactly what has been said. People said, I think it is high time, like, let UDP bring in new generation of people.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was trying to tell you earlier. Molbe nying kumo ikafunya duku kanne.
Yeah.
But the moment Hanika nodded to the forefront to say it loud because of that respect that they have for Dabo. But nyanta mulanda fananko, political di banko la nyato ta, respect bijele but fanan tonya fo fanan bijele. Ikanjele. So isaje, you can speak truth to an individual, or maybe, I'm pretty sure UDP, yefenko sole mandinkol ka funye bulunda. Yolo. Talanga mandeka kawa moiti, kasinko mandeka kawa moiti.
Bulunda, no, it's true. Yeah, they have elderly Malika for senior elders. Yeah,
Council of Elders or something
Council
like
of
that.
Elders.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So our Council of Elders should be able to come in and respectfully convey that message to them. But sometimes the elderly within the party are also too, I don't know. Let's not die on this hill, man. Let's segue to our next topic.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying. A lot of people, they fear the retribution.
Thank you.
So, but I think it is high time to move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it is something that's going to happen in one way, in one day or the other. It's going to happen. But if that's the view of a lot of people within the party and even outside the party, because there are people who they really have the party at heart, but they are not UDP members. But if UDP bring in a new face, likely
they can attack those numbers. Yes.
Yeah. So not all of the folk and banko and banko bantala. Then what is keeping the party leadership to bring in new face?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, your analysis were on point, and I really appreciate that, man. So let's now shift to Franco Atodo. Okay, Pa Modou Bojang la case, I tell Gambia la media for it, understand? So Pa Modou la case with the police, that's way back in Faraba when the case happened, and Paral ya Lipa, Barama and stuff like that. That case was in court. Definitely that case was in court, drag in court still. Until recently, Wolung Kuketa, the High Court, verdict, the Gambia government should pay $15 million, which is over $200,000, to Pa Modou for, the police beatings in Munkalanu back then. So, a lot of people received it, with joy, and a lot of people were excited about it. But it also coincided with the day Muyalonko. The Gambia police, was celebrating because I think for ECOWAS, there was somebody recognized them as the best policing body in West Africa, and they were, in jubilant, mode, then news nada, and that kind of dented, jubilation. So I just wanted us to, spend some time to talk about, what happened, the impact that could have on, policing in the Gambia, and also the Gambia police, versus the general public at large, in a relationship, and going forward, what we think needs to happen. That so before I get on to mine, I would just want to hear what your thoughts are about the case.
So Ibrahim, Pa Modou la nying alain case me wintereng niaji we is personally is a win for Pa Modou, but nti aji nyame is a win for the Gambia media fraternity. It's a win for the Gambia media fraternity, in a sense, like covering the time Jammeh was in power. A lot of instance happen, men involving either media personnel, journalists, including the Hydra, and some other people. Many alonko they were involved in cases here and there for those strategy, like the Hydra la bango Chief Mane la disappearance, and in some other related issue. Many alonko wolle benta Gambia dingol la many alonko wolle be journalism and in kibaro bundal la dol borda banko kan e banko nyembula. So but nyim fana nata mem fana itande wolom nyinde ko kabrim falingo keta in 2016 and the kabrim the new government nata in 2017. What has changed? That's another thing that we need to celebrate. It's a victory for Pa Modou, but it's a victory for the media fraternity in the Gambia. But what does this also shows is the fact that Gambians needs to have some hope in our justice system. You understand? This shows that there is a level of democracy in the Gambia. There's a level of rule of law in the Gambia. But it should be a point where the police and other security fraternities, they need to learn their lessons. With this, I will reference to what has happened or the reports that came out from TRRC. So Wokusi Falu men report on TRRC involving Gambia security forces, including police, state intelligence, and the military. So nini nata na finti masakunda nyustonta ku jojo nata isande ko konyanta pa jola nyinala andum pa fangala diamo to mba ngala diamo la ma fatu ako during the court cases government and prosecutor because they have not been attending the court cases. This shows that ko mansakunda alone from at the beginning ko they were at fault. So men fana keda wolo mindiko like Ning case has been dragged for over 6 years. I think 2 or 3 interior ministers served during that time. A lot of our police IGPs served. I think, in fact, the current Minister of Interior was once the IGP, right? And the late late IGP that passed away.
Yeah, Mahmoud Job, yeah.
Mahmoud Job, but it has been dragging since then. So, but at the end of the day, Masakunda nata Jojo Kitia nata na kumfa ye. According to Pa Modou found Kitia nyung kumfa ta junal. But judgment is what has been dragged all this long. But case nyung close to la kabring, but just recently nata na. So where may it and the whole mindiko like Gambia Masakunda nyanta ye bulo like security forces nyole ya jako banku dingol muntol fangol let. The citizen are the government belongs to the citizen and the public is the government. O banku dingol le masakunda fana belori banku dingol le. So there needs to be that good relationship between the security forces and the public. And the public should have trust in the security forces. But let's say since change of power, Gambian are still very much hesitant in trusting Gambian security forces. So when I say, I'm just generalizing it from the police, because what happened is we see the same trend will continue come from what has been happening in previous regime. Though but there are some of those things are still happening. So what in na mo jamabe je ansa mallan no soto no na police or learning other security forces, which is a big thing, because one of the major thing mesatina ni lana balial sibono wala minteko police has to come up. Already I believe they have it, but they need to implement more of community policing. Community policing is what's gonna make so like some of these things wala yete ya futa moluma aman ito nyata tala police station oda malde e ka mol kuma ne mol kalne ya wato wat police ol fanasi fintino le kata mol sensitize. You understand? Let them go out and meet the public. Hey, bin nata nyambay ma fangol bin tada durme colonne bin tada jamisale bimbe janale bakaw bimbe bin tada provinces le. Every region has a police headquarters. These are some of the things they yanta ke fam mobilize nyame. Hey, ntol nata banko luwa e symbol din tolla bratol fanasin tol mako no nyaadile pour ka je ko ngatanko ni luwa sabatindi ni banko kan pour ka je ko molete la hajo la freely mote hamla aning nimmen dunta nyola nyanta nalan tolla ya follow ke nga ko nyin discourse nimmen boyta nimmen nyanta menkela luwa e mella o kan tolla be tolla ba jala ko luwa e tani silola. But nim mol dunta nyole tata police at the end of the day me men samba police after 2 days ya mari bula wala nothing comes out of those cases. Wal fanasi keno wal fanasi lana balia sembo warandino banko kan. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Yaya, for that analysis. So inakumol saniyata. So until after na angle mo na walang police all. Yaje police so manyenda kala political influence of that.
Influence of that, yes.
Because niaje ku jamaka ke, because as long as the status quo coming nyimbete nyame, ke nga cool jale where journalists were awarded money because they took the government to international court, and the government paid. So Pa Modou is not the first person.
I think was it Fat Camera and the Co?
Yeah, they received money
Nigeria
too before. Yes, you know what I mean. So Pa Modou received money, and until things change, this is gonna happen again.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? To where, people are gonna, the government is gonna be responsible for paying more and more. So I don't know these payments. Fakabo, police la budget letter bang. Fakabo, government la, finance la coffers letter bang. Or I don't know how these payments will be remitted to Pa Modou. But what I do know is that unless things change on how the police leadership, i.e., the IGP, the way the IGP is hired, or by the president directly.
Exactly.
Unless that changes, these things are never going to change.
Yeah. Okay. If you will allow me to add on this, so like Pa Modou is not yet paid.
No, I know.
Yeah. So before Pa Modou, like Molme Masakunda Samba court, including Nene Freda Gomez. I believe up till now, Nene, I'm not sure, but Nene won against the government, but still now he might implement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are other people as well. So I think whether this is coming from the police budget. I think in the budget budget Fenkoni Ngamira, Minister of Finance made mention of an area specifically for some of these government liabilities. It's part of the national budget. So, but like for example in the US here, it's not the government of the US, it's the state or the county or the city that pays for those things. So at the end of the day, ibajala ning I don't know for county carbon police la budget la kono whatsoever, but that's what will happen is Gambia masakunda nyanta stand tala jele nara nying sifal ka happen ka iba for police ko al kan yimmen ka ni luwa manta nal ka keteng nka kodo men di nyulla mba bon lala fenkoller. So
budget all,
that could also be another team member na police will be at local.
Yep,
you know,
it's going to be a big
so
time.
there needs to be changes. There needs to be changes because like the government cannot continue to foot liabilities for agencies.
Yep.
You know, and another thing is how much do police themselves raise? What are some of the proceedings more mentioned from police apart from like ticket all mendi molanin ku kotemulu and like and some other stuff. Maybe I believe police also generates some amount of money. Malo all dol kata dame. I have no idea. You understand? Yeah.
Yeah.
So things like that, I believe niche will be mobilized on to pay towards some of this. Yes, you can continue.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So take a time in for well coming the way the police will select nyaming
IGP,
IG nyaming
directly
from the president. So okay, so when that happens, that IGP will owe some degree of loyalty to the person that put him in that position. But whatever the president can do is just to appoint, and when he appoints, then the National Assembly has to confirm that person. Then in that case, and also make it to where the president cannot just abruptly
fire the individual, terminate the individuals. I think the president can nominate under National Assembly Mari confirmed. After I believe that's not police damn. You understand?
A lot of government.
It should be all the security forces. The president can nominate any of them, like the prison director, police IGP, immigration director, SIS, drug squad, the revenue department,
GRA.
GRA commissioner. All these should be people, many they should be non-political appointments. To me, that's how I view it. They should be this should be expert in their field, whom they are non-political. They can have a political opinion, but it are finting, So these are people whom they are seasoned professionals. Many are like they have to be people many alonko ila area ni iba mari be menkala je alona abe menkala. But for example, the current IGP, according to them, was okay. He was a police officer. Moved from police, immigration, but he spent a lot of time in immigration. Moved back to police. So there is a gap. You understand? There's a lot of gap. So immigration in police la is but it's a little bit different. Someone whom on the police at a very long time, you somebody immigration. And in police la fenko nying fatatale. So I don't he thinks the guy might not be able to function well. I don't know. But
so I also think into the perspective of why you are not young. It was a strategic move because most of the police cable munubije.
Yeah.
You understand? It's sad to say, but they are so accustomed to the old ways
of
policing, and they're not open to new inventions or newer ways of doing things. So bringing someone from a fresh face from outside, to join and be able to come in and effect change. That was the reason why they brought Mr. Ture in. Yeah.
No, Senghor, I beg to differ. I think Gambia police has a lot of vibrant young people. A lot of them, whom they are senior commission officers. Most of those people were between the ages of 30 to 40.
Yes, but are there people Munialonko they are next in line to be IGP?
Okay, I believe Gambia Police Force is mostly three major positions: IGP, Deputy IGP, and the operation. Apart from that, all the rest are commissioners in various regions. Like I'm not sure, but I want to believe like mobile traffic commissioner at their licensing commissioner, commissioner of KMC, commissioner of West Coast region, commissioner of URR, and all those things. So maybe intelligent department, child protection, and all those things. So, but these are the three areas. But should it depends on that? Should it be next in line, or it should be competency and capability?
It should be competency and but a lot of times in Gambia they just choose the person that's
next in line. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That we need to change. That's where the change needs to come into play. Okay, like from let's say from Kabrin Jamenara, since Jame came to power, we've seen a lot of empowerment in our security forces. A lot of security officers, both in the military, they had a chance to go for studies within the Gambia at the University of the Gambia, MDI. Some even went overseas, like the former IGP Sonko. All of them, I think they all have their masters. Also, even the current interior minister, all of them, they have their degrees and whatsoever. I believe even the current IGP. But there are other people also. There are some of the youngsters whom some of them went to University of the Gambia. They went outside. They got their masters. Some of them could have even. Some of them are even graduate of law school. So, to me, it's not be based on who is the next in line. It should be based on competency. So, if the president needs to appoint, if the president should appoint individual, let's look at the individual has been there for 40 whatsoever years, but is he capable of leading? Because not every individual whom might be a commissioner in police will be able to lead the general public when it comes to policing and security forces. Like, it's a very big, it's a big responsibility.
Absolutely, I agree with you, man. And also, this I think would also be a great lesson for Nafenko and our security forces. Katandiko, I mean, Kamo Katilimba Kamola, just because Anika Ajale, I don't know, man. Most of our security forces have a poignant way of displaying their own allegiances to the status quo.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So ikatara mitindula, ibe more mutala ibe butela, and also as security forces taking videos of those, Fenko ibe more butela muna. I mean, it's just not right, dude. It take a okay, your job is to protect and serve. Whether you align with the person, or not, your job is to protect and serve.
Yeah, because maybe Yawolo Mintiko, like, I will not talk about what has happened in what happened in Jammeh's time, but since the change happened in 2016, Gambia security forces, they still continue to do things and no one holds them accountable. Kabrin 2016, tilimbali al men kata nga police nga moy jumale ye police carle arrest ye army carle arrest ye immigration carle arrest ya samba luanya tel ngol because anyim banku dingola nyanto tinya ni a report nothing comes out of it. Nothing comes out of it. So they need to hold security forces accountable. They need to set example. Nima example was set on an individual, nothing's gonna come out of it. You understand? Najele ya mol bute dol nyingol katata dol nga bora and all those stuff, even like ya mol kamul found treat nyame ni arrest how they arrest you ke blandi motol kono nyame ka dol mol mutale ke padudu ke five moto moro man ke nyama. That's not dignity, man. That's not human dignity. So all those are things ngamira Pa Modou Bojang was able to win this case because most of the Tilimbali Amenketa were caught on camera. We are caught on video. The government cannot deny it.
Yeah.
You understand? And Usifa Jamal Lekadamenya Lanko, the facts are out there in videos, but the government failed. The police themselves failed to account, and they failed to police themselves, hold their own people accountable. So long we continue to throw some of these things under the carpet, the status quo will continue. You understand?
Yeah,
So
thank you so much. Yeah, that's a good thing. You know, we've been over for over an hour now, so I think this should be a cutting point for us to call it a day. You know, so the conversations has been good. You know, I love your analysis, brother. You know, you're always on point. You know, you do your homework and you come in, you know, with facts. You know, and I really do like the way you bring about your points and manifest your analysis. You know, thank you so much, brother. Any last words, you know, before we go?
Okay, ambe lamor laal tentula kadiango kala tumando, you know, na opinion also differ with people's opinion. Tolman long itemen kadiango menke lamoy wala sometimes mostly wala ka long kite dite ko kumodo fo kaje nyameng ante sa fo nyameng ana mari sa pasif nyameng could be different na ning na kumol yem men jiso kan indi mawlo kama be men kika wala mi indi ko be lafta pour na banko lay tañato nga kumol min fo wala mi indi ko pour kaje ko na banko kan si fanin no nyameng pour nyaka menje dunia fanad kote ngol o kusi falu wol kusi fal fanasi kenon fanala banko kan ñing kay ambe mobe tentla mbela mo laal tentla ñing kay fo nal si ñoom sibit men kana inshallah ne ala mbeso si jamu ni jaar kende.
Thank you, Yaya. La baraka baki. Inshallah next Saturday mbetalla janne tani Yaya Dabo aning Afridamos mbekata continue la cool mun ne ko bina kala nyin lo ko la Allah baraka baki, you know, for next Saturday inshallah. Thank you everyone. And stream